Hi, Mary. Can you hear me?
Hi, Loris. Great to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah,
I understand there might be a bit of snow in Iowa.
I'm afraid that's true, although it could be worse.
Yes. Well, I hate to tell you this, but in Austin, Texas, the temperatures this time of year are generally in the 60s, but we've been having mid 60s to mid 70s. It's supposed to be mid 70s tomorrow. And on Thursday, they're forecasting 83 degrees.
Whoa.
So
I don't think you really hated to tell us
yeah, I know.
that.
I don't know what I can't see myself yet here. I don't know what the deal is, but I do a lot of Zoom meetings with maybe told you this the other day, but I'm on the board of Green State Credit Union. So my background may show up as Green State, and if it does, I apologize. But I thought that it would. I Zoomed with somebody else yesterday, and I thought it'd only show up on those Green State meetings. But anyway, so I need to figure out how to take it off and put it back on when I want to. I haven't done that yet. So I'm somewhat challenged in technology terms.
Well, I don't know how to do backgrounds myself, but I did notice the ad. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's with everybody at home, having some kind of a background, takes some of the distraction away. And so anyway, in terms of our employees, it looks more professional. In terms of a board member, I don't know if it really makes any difference. So it looks like you have a full agenda here.
We always do.
But you can't ask what's for lunch because that's determined by whatever somebody's having at home, right?
That's correct. So you can have your favorite dish every time.
Hey, Karen, come and say hi to Mary. If I can, I don't know where she may have gone back out. She was down exercising earlier.
Can you see the other Rotarians on your screen?
Let me see here. Participants, I'll go. Yeah, I see their names. I don't know why they're not showing.
Some of them don't show their pictures, but if you've got it on gallery view, you'll have your best chance.
I do, and it should show up under participants, really. Hitting participants, it just shows them up, shows their names.
Try that first. I don't know if you want to mess with anything. iPad 10, that's you.
I do that one right there.
And Carrie, it looks to me like you've made it with time to spare. Oops, you're muted, Carrie.
Since you don't start till 12:15, I was able to make it.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're.
Because she's sharing the screen, maybe.
Yeah, it might be because I can't bring up all the participants at one time. I can see their names, but there's 25 of them right now.
Right.
But for some reason, maybe with the agenda up there sharing the screen, that might be. But generally, if I just hit participants, then it shows them all. So I don't know.
So you try to hit more, but it's only.
I see that Carol Hibbs just joined.
I'm going to show 9 of them. Try hitting more and see if it gives you the option of gallery.
Ah.
Chat, meeting settings, minimize, virtual background.
So just hit over. No,
There we go. Maybe that'll do it.
Try it again.
And for those of you who are joining, the question for our chat box today is, have you ever seen an actual live groundhog?
Your Green State background.
Yeah, I know. I see Jim Lawrence there.
To see the rest of them slide.
Is Jim on mute?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Karen? Well,
Hi, Julie.
Most people are on mute right now.
That's good.
hey, Jim Lawrence, get off mute and say hi. He's still on mute.
He's still on mute. Hi, Loris. This is Sue Martin. How are you?
Hi, Sue Martin. I'm great. Karen,
Good.
come back in here and say hi, Karen. I'm gonna keep Karen back. Oh, she said she's not
I
going.
will come one more time, but not for every single person who comes on.
Hi,
They'd
Karen.
rather,
Hi, Carrie.
they'd rather see Karen than me anyway.
I
So,
don't think
yeah.
so.
And there's Carol.
I wasn't a member.
Hey,
for-
Loris.
And Mike Schlesinger. I see Mike's hair is growing.
Hi, Karen.
Hi,
Good to see you.
good to see you too.
And Mary, send Loris a bill for this advertisement.
I know. I can't get it back off of there. I'm sorry.
Our granddaughter put it on and she's gonna have to take it off.
Oh, no, I understand. That's who I call too for my technical advice.
Yeah, I know. I spend about 3 or 4 meetings a week on Zoom with Green State being on the board. I put that on there and I thought it would only show for Green State meetings, but it obviously shows for other Zoom meetings. So, but Jim, I know you'll appreciate this. And if there are other bankers in the meeting too, Green State is now a $7.1 billion bank. It's the largest independent banking institution in the state. Started out as University of Iowa Community Credit Union. So hopefully it doesn't go south on my watch because it's only a volunteer job and that could be expensive. Hey, it's good to see everybody's faces. Wow.
Sylvia, you want to say hi to Loris?
She said no.
Hi, Loris. How are you?
Hi, Sylvia. Somehow I got kicked out of here again to see everybody's faces, but
There's Loris over here.
Hi. Oh, there's Karen.
Yes, I'm here to
There
say
we go.
hi. I'll say hi to Phil.
There. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. We're in sunny Texas.
Oh, wonderful.
yeah,
Heather and Olivia
we're
live.
spending the winter in Austin. I'm sorry to say it's 60 degrees on its way to 66 today, but it's going to be 74 tomorrow.
Oh, that's too bad.
83. So, sorry.
Oh, we feel sorry for you. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my clock says it's about time for us to get started. So Kim, if you want to put the agenda up. I would like to now call our meeting to order for the Groundhog Day, February 2nd, 2021. And it's great to see all of you here, and it's fun to have conversation with folks we haven't seen for a while. Carrie Barr is going to lead us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, please pray with me. As Rotarians, we are generally blessed with the lives of relative luxury and opportunities unknown to many. Help us review our checkbooks and indeed the registers of our lives with honesty as we consider our priorities and our opportunity to help others. Open our hearts and our accounts to those in need while still providing us with appropriate fruits of our own labors. Help us to share not only our tangible wealth, but also our intangible riches of knowledge, leadership, and creativity to make our city, our nation, and our world a better place filled with peace and love that you can bring through us. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Carrie. I know that we have some guests today. I will kick this off by introducing Cynthia Monsager. She goes by the name Boo because her birthday was on Halloween. So Cynthia has submitted her application to be a member of Rotary. So I'm very excited to introduce her to you. If you haven't met her, I know that you'll enjoy getting to know her. She works with Bradshaw Fowler Law Firm and is now stationed in Marshalltown. So Boo, thank you for waving at us. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having me today.
Do we have any other guests today? Okay. At the first meeting of each month, we have the tradition of recognizing people whose birthdays fall in the month. And so Linda Havelka, would you like to recognize those with February birthdays?
Could we go on to anniversaries and we'll come back to birthdays? I totally forgot, but I will pull that up.
We absolutely can. We have another stellar group of folks whose membership anniversary with the Marshalltown Rotary Club is in February. And so if you're present, I hope you'll give us a wave to everybody. We'll take a little time to find you on our screen here. The first person we want to recognize is Jessica Kinzer for 4 years of membership. Unfortunately, she was not able to be with us today, but we certainly congratulate her. Peg Moeller, I believe, was planning to be with us, and I haven't found Peg yet. You want to give us a wave, Peg, if you're on? Oh, I see her. I see her name. So Peg, 10 years of membership in Rotary. Glad to have you. The next folks we want to recognize are Jerry and Anita Ellingson, and I know they're on. You want to give us a wave? And you can unmute yourself because we'd like to hear where you are. Jerry, we're celebrating 19 years of membership with Rotary, and Anita, 26. So congratulations. You want to tell us where you are?
Go ahead, then.
Well, we're in Bella Vista, Arkansas right now. We came down mid-December and we'll probably stay here through April and have managed to stay COVID-free. So we're enjoying a little warmer weather and a little golfing and a lot of walking. So
It's nice to see you. We'll look forward to having you back, and feel free to Zoom in every Tuesday.
all right, thanks, Mary.
Keep this going, and congratulations. Robert Gaynor, I don't know if Robert said he was not going to be able to be with us. I think that's still current. So Robert, we're celebrating 32 years of membership for him, as well as Nancy Wilson. This is her 32nd anniversary. Nancy is at home. She is undergoing chemotherapy right now and said that she's looking forward to surgery in March. So I know she'll appreciate if folks want to connect with her or send cards. For 32 years for her. Our next person to recognize is Mike Schlesinger. Mike, you've been a member for 35 years. Congratulations. Want to give us a wave? Anything you'd like to say? This is your chance. You have to unmute yourself first.
Well, I really don't have any prepared comments, but it's been nice being a member of Rotary and enjoy it very much. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Bob Bauer, I believe, was planning to join us. I don't know if he's on yet. Bob is celebrating 35 years of membership also. So hopefully if he joins us.
Bob's here. Yep, he's waving. He was waving.
Good. Where
Yep.
Hi, Bob. You want to say anything? There you are. Oh, you have to unmute yourself. Bob, do you know how to unmute yourself? Yeah. There you go. Say it again.
It's been a pleasure being in Rotary for all these 35 years.
Very great. And you want to tell them where you are?
I'm in Sanibel, Florida right now.
Very good. Have you gotten your COVID shot yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today. Tom Apgar, 41 years. Tom, are you on screen? No, 41 years. Hopefully he'll join us. Do I hear him? Okay, if not, Laura Snewroth, we are celebrating 44 years of your membership in the Marshalltown Club. So thanks for your continued loyalty. It's nice to have you join us.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. It's good to be here.
Yeah, great. Okay, those are all of our anniversary folks. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Linda, are you ready with the birthdays?
Yes, I am now ready.
Okay.
We have a short list for February. Today is Bruce Warren's birthday. Julie Hitchens is on the 7th. Michael Bloom is the 20th. Sarah Hesmer is February 22nd, and Joel Greer is on the 26th.
Well, happy birthday to all of you Rotarians. Have a great day. Thank you, Linda. Jackie, I think we have some new student Rotarians joining us this month.
We do. Tatum England and Veronica Herrera are here with us today. So Tatum, if you could take yourself off mute and turn on your camera. Please introduce yourself to the Rotarians. Remember the things that I shared with you earlier, your name, grade the things you do in school, who your parents are, and the things you do outside of school.
Great. Hi everyone, my name is Tatum England. I'm a high school senior. My parents' names are Mickey and Travis England. I have been involved in track, volleyball, and the Marshalltown dance team. I am also a member of National Honor Society. Some community services I've done is I've helped with the local Marshalltown Football League. I've donated blood twice, and I've helped with the annual blood drive. After high school, I plan on attending Iowa State major engineering.
Tatum, you're also a member of the school board, a student representative of the school board, correct? I think we might have lost her. Okay, Veronica, if you will.
Oh, hello. My name is Veronica Herrera. I'm a junior over at MHS and, oh, sorry. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Again, my name's Veronica Herrera. I'm a junior over at MHS. My parents are Carlos and Hilda Herrera, and currently at MHS, I have luckily been able to apply for a program entitled as Girls State, and fortunately, I've been able to become accepted. So this summer, I'll be able to attend a Girls State camp over at Drake University. I've also been able to become accepted into the All-State Orchestra this year. Also, I participate in MHS Orchestra, swimming, track, and also I'm in a program entitled as Science Bound, which prepares students for the future, and also assists them with financial aid for Iowa State University. And outside of school, I love volunteering at the hospital before the pandemic, also being a volunteer at the public library, and also playing my violin along with my siblings at our church at St. Mary's. And as a general plan of mine after I graduate from high school is to hopefully earn my AA before I graduate, along with attending either University of Iowa or Iowa State University to become a mathematics major, become a professor of mathematics at the university level, and hopefully minor in music.
Thank you. Welcome to both of you. It's wonderful to have you join us, and we hope you enjoy your month with Rotary. I'm always glad to hear about another violinist, so keep that up. Okay, announcements. First of all, I would like to welcome our new member, Kendra Sorensen. She is an official member now, and we're very glad to have her. You might remember Kendra has assumed responsibility for leading the United Way program in Marshalltown. So welcome, Kendra. Last week, we had 40 people who attended the meeting on Zoom. And I just wanted to put in a reminder that Mike is still accepting pledges for $20 food bags to be given to the emergency food box through next Monday. So take this as your reminder to get on your email and connect with him. Information about that program was included in your Club Runner newsletter that you should have received recently. So Mike, is there anything else you would like to say about that at this time?
Just we have 103 bags so far that people have pledged. And so that's a really good thing for our local food box. So anybody that's willing to add to that, that'll be just that much more people that'll be able to have something to eat that maybe they don't have enough to eat right now. So please get on and contribute if you haven't done so. Thank you.
Thank you for spearheading that for us, Mike. If you read the article from the District 6000 newsletter, you'll notice that Mike's project was written up in there for other clubs to learn about. So we're proud of you, Mike, and I'm certainly proud of the response that our club members have given to this idea. So thanks a lot. Time for happy news.
I've got a happy news.
Great.
The Veterans Memorial Coliseum was in the newspaper this last week. A fantastic thing for us original Marshalltownians that thought it would never happen. And what a great guy in Vic Helberg. It wouldn't have happened without Vic Helberg. And I think we all want to just give a clap to him for everything that he has done, because it is a great thing for our community.
I agree with that. Thank you, Larry. Who else has happy news?
I can kind of piggyback off of Larry's comments regarding the Coliseum. We're starting to experience some build it and they will come momentum with the tennis court project. I think it was shared earlier that we've secured 2 junior USTA Iowa sanctioned tournaments for this summer. And we just got word that our application was submitted to host a national adult USTA tennis tournament in June. So that's really exciting. We'll be partnering with the Ames Racket Club for purposes of their indoor courts for that tournament.
That's great news. Thanks for sharing. Any more happy news? Okay. Our program today will be introduced by Dr. Christy Fisher.
Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Dr. Robin Lilienthal, who's going to talk to you about what's been a journey through this pandemic and all the possibilities we see on the back end of it. And also like to just say she just celebrated 20 years with Iowa Valley, so she has a long history with this. And why she's going to talk to you about MCC specific today, I want you all to know that she really led the charge district-wide as COVID-19 hit to make sure that academics happened, not just here at MCC, but at Ellsworth and in Grinnell. So I'm honored to introduce her, and I think you'll enjoy the presentation.
Thank you for the introduction and the invitation to come back to Rotary and present. I'm going to share my screen here real quickly, make sure it's working, and then start my PowerPoint. Can you see my lead slide? Somebody give me a thumbs up or a yes?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much again for the invitation. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about what happened at the college over the last year. And on February 26th, so not quite a year ago, I received an email from a faculty member. And what she said in that email kind of took me unawares, I guess, and saying that in the unfortunate event of a pandemic, and then, talked about how China had markedly affected daily lives. Little did many of us know on January 26th of 2020 that our lives were going to change. We were lucky on March 5th, just about a week later, that we had a workshop already scheduled with our faculty. And so we jumped right on it with our faculty to begin discussing with them how important developing continuity of instruction plans were. This is something that we hadn't really spent a lot of time on. And so we coached our faculty and developed collaboration teams in which they would work together to develop those, what happens in the event of. And then of course we got right on ordering equipment, which we realized was probably a couple of weeks too late. It took us some time to get some cameras in, but then upped our Zoom licenses and some other things. By March 12th as a district, we were recruiting members to our COVID-19 response team, which happened to be actually during our spring break timeframe. Christy was leading our leadership team in discussions about how we wanted to address things and putting together a district-wide response team. And then on March 15th, when we came back from spring break, the world changed. It changed higher education. It's interesting now that we're sort of in the midst of it to be thinking in terms of how is it permanently changing higher education and what is really gonna be affected on the other side of it. So 17 days warning from February 26th to actually going completely online was all we had to really figure out what we were doing. Whoops, using the wrong thing here. Now I want to backtrack just a little bit. I'm sure most of you on this Zoom meeting are quite familiar with who MCC is, but I think it's nice to contextualize what we were doing within who MCC is as a college. And you can see some of the infographics there that talks about that, you know, we're about 50-50 in high school students and in college students. In fact, high school students leads our enrollment just slightly. Almost all of our students are from Iowa. About 20% of them receive Pell Grants, in which they are getting somewhere close to $4,200 on average to help offset the cost of their education. And we are now at about 22% of our student population is Hispanic, which also includes this year at 56 international students. I wanted to place sort of how we handled the pandemic within the Iowa Valley Community College District mission. We're a mission-driven organization, and it was important for us to really be keeping the mission at the center of how the college anticipated its response to the pandemic and what was happening as students. And just to piggyback just a little bit off of what Dr. Fisher was saying is, even though I'm giving you the examples of Marshalltown Community College, these examples are very much mirrored in the experience that our sister college, Ellsworth Community College in Iowa Falls, was also how we were also handling. We worked very closely as a district to ensure all of those things. We decided early on, related to academics, that we had to establish some guiding principles. And one of those was to meet our mission of quality learning and student success. We knew that our students were entrusting us with their tuition resources, their career plans, and really their educational experience. And we wanted to keep trying to meet that mission. But we also realized that we needed to do the best that we could to protect our enrollment. And really that was centered in what the student expectations were about their higher education experience. I know you heard stories across the country of colleges that went fully online, colleges that, you know, came back completely, all kinds of things, but we wanted to do what our students were expecting us. But that all had to be contextualized within protecting our institutional assets, which are our employees and our financial assets. So under quality learning, as I already mentioned, we, in the academics area, we started those plans on March 5th and then did intense training on March 15th and 16th to really bring some faculty up to speed related to distance learning, because at that point we decided to completely shut down and have all of our coursework go distance. Now that is no easy task in general, but we also have a very experienced faculty base. We have faculty who have spent 25 or 30 years teaching at the college, and many of those faculty had not developed skills in distance learning. They were great classroom faculty. Students loved to come to take classes in person, but when they were forced online, they needed to be quickly upskilled so that they could adapt their wonderful classroom teaching to be able to be offered in a distance opportunity. And generally that was done through Zoom. And we even had faculty who just came to the classroom, had their Zoom camera on, and taught as if there were students in front of them, because they were most comfortable in that, as opposed to the more distance learning from their homes. So in spring, what we learned about the experience is that technology challenges is huge for learners. And that is due to really the broadband issue that we have in the state of Iowa, or limited resources that a family might have in terms of one computer, and maybe parents were trying to telework. They had siblings that were in the K-12 system that were also trying to take their classes. And then you had the college students. So it really created some family challenges related to technology. But we also realized that the strong instructor-student relationship was critical. And what was fabulous about that is we did get a half a semester in which those instructors and students were able to build a relationship at that time to be able to continue through the rest of the semester. We knew we were going to need to make some shifts for fall semester. And so our faculty worked with us through the summer in multiple meetings and completing input surveys and a variety of things, and also developing training programs for that. But what was most important for us is we knew our students, for the most part, wanted to come back in person if they possibly could. And so we needed to develop modes of delivery that would assist with that in a successful way. On the student services side that focused on student success, there were other challenges that we were facing as an institution. The first and foremost challenge was recruiting students who aren't where you expect them to be. We didn't have access to high schools. We didn't have college fairs to recruit at. We didn't have any of those typical kinds of things in which we would normally be seeking our fall semester of first-year students. So it made things very challenging. Our recruiters and advisors worked really hard through Zoom meetings, reaching out, providing special programming or targeted events. But it was really difficult. Students were really trying, those high school seniors were really trying to focus on just getting through their senior year and really seeing what the next step would be. So it created a challenge for us. We also recognized, again, as I've mentioned, that they wanted to be in person for class. And so we developed this choose your own adventure sort of perspective. We knew some students would want all online classes, and we were already offering a full degree programs with our AA transfer and several other programs all online. So that wasn't difficult for us. But what we needed to do was figure out how to social distance and make things work for students. And so some of our classes, we were able to have 100% in person. Other classes, because of our capacity in our classrooms or the size of those classes, we ended up with a half and half experience where they were part on Zoom and every other day and part in the class every other day. We realized, again, our secret sauce is in the personalized advising, the relationships that all of our faculty and staff have with our students. And so we tried to parlay that into ensuring that students were successful. Extra phone calls, reach outs, building those relationships and continuing those relationships to ensure student success. The Federal CARES Act did provide some support for our students, which was really, really helpful. Each of our students who applied was able to receive up to $2,000 in support of their education. That was very critical because for many families, they lost jobs, or the student may have lost their part-time job. And so having that extra $2,000 was able to assist them with paying for their educational expenses, and ensuring that they could continue with their schooling. Housing, we don't house a lot of students on campus, but we certainly house plenty of students on campus. And it was particularly important with housing to make sure that we created bubbles that could protect students in the event of a COVID outbreak. And so that was important. We have established quarantine rooms, we've established protocols related to their housing experience. And so that has gone very well for us. And we feel like we've been quite successful with that. The social challenges are college students like to connect with each other, right? They like to be together. It is a human factor. And we had been successful over the years in providing a lot of great student engagement events and activities for those students. They had athletics to participate in, they had bowling and all the kinds of things that college students might like to do. But that has been a real challenge because we have had to really scale back what we can do for students from a social connection with each other. And quite frankly, students are reporting to us that they're feeling a little bored. And so we're trying to identify areas in which which we can connect them in ways that they're not exposing each other to COVID. We were pleased last semester with our COVID outbreaks. In fact, they were really not outbreaks. They were quite limited in fact. Our website does report, but each week we would have just a small handful of students that might be testing positive. Sometimes it was only one, sometimes it was zero. And we feel that this is going to play out again throughout this semester with regards to that. So that has been really helpful. International students is a challenge. It was very difficult. We had some students from countries in which traveling back home was more dangerous than staying in the United States. So providing them housing while they over the summer was important to us to be able to do. We were also unable to get several of our students back. We had 3 students from Brazil who were unable to travel back to MCC in the fall semester. They're working on getting entry into the US. They happen to be members of our soccer team. And so they're in online classes right now and hoping to get here in early March for the start of the season. But it's up in the air in terms of how that's going to go. And then in terms of athletics, the National Junior College Athletic Association made a decision to move virtually all sports to the spring semester in order to be able to plan better for what the protocols would be with regards to student athletes, and to be able to get the competition that students were expecting. We did have some impact on our enrollment, however, despite all of our plans. It was disappointing to us, but we were also understanding why that happened, and our decline in student enrollment actually does mirror the national trends across the country. Community colleges are reporting about a 10% decrease in enrollment from this past fall. But we thought the COVID was bad, but as we all know from Marshalltown, the derecho was worse. And that absolutely added a layer of challenge and concern to our enrollment. And so it made it much more difficult. We had thought we were on track for doing better than we had expected. And then the derecho came and affected our fall enrollment. Dual credit continues to be our largest percent in credit, as I indicated on the infographic. And that has really been an area that has decreased. You can see the last bullet on here. We have just hot off the press because yesterday was our census date for our spring semester, and we are down 11% in credit hours. That's 117 full-time students are not taking classes this semester that were taking classes a year ago in the spring semester, and 101 fewer dual credit students, which is also a 10% decrease. So there are a lot of students and those are unduplicated. So that's 218 students that were taking classes in the spring semester of 2020 that are not taking classes now. And so it certainly is a challenging time for us at the college. When we talked about safety, we used a lot of the same protocols as others related to masking, providing PPE for our employees, and really focusing on social distancing and cleaning. One of the things that we felt like is it takes a village to keep our campus safe. And so therefore we place sanitation stations in each and every one of our public spaces, classrooms, pretty much anywhere that you can imagine that it would go. And so the employee, the faculty or staff member who is hosting the group there is responsible for wetting down this space. And then the students know that when they come in, they grab paper towels and they wipe it down to dry it off. And it's worked out to be a very effective way to sanitize the tables and chairs in between students, and a pretty speedy way to make that happen as well. We also have an emergency phone identified for COVID reporting. Most students are not contacting the emergency phone. They're just using an online reporting form. And usually it's to get advice like, what should I do if I feel like I'm sick? Or more importantly, if I've been exposed knows, how do I communicate with my faculty members about that particular situation? In the end, the way that we have identified in terms of how it's gone is the students who have returned, they are hanging on. They're hanging on to the best of their ability. It's fun to walk in the hallways because I still feel a sense of spirit and joy for students being here, which is really, really great. But it's also, we recognize, and our advisors and faculty hear of the struggles that some of our students are facing. It seems like when they hit another barrier, maybe there's a job loss or a health issue in their family not related to COVID, or mental health challenges, those seem to sort of double down and make the college experience more difficult for the students. But they're really, the ones that are here are really hanging in there. The students who have stopped out, as I said, our close personal contact is our secret sauce. So we're hearing from those students a lot. The students who have stopped out are telling us that they will be back. They're like, I just can't do it this January, but I'm coming back in the fall. And they just can't add more to their plates. Our faculty and staff are stretched, but they're so committed to our students that they continue to have joy. They continue to be brainstorming ideas of how things can happen. They tend to continue to be accommodating when there are flexibilities that are needed for our students. And the faculty actually overall, in a survey that we did with them last semester, report that they really feel like the changes that we made to class offerings, how the students learned, and the training that they had really did go well for them. And so they were very pleased with that. But I can tell that there is a level of exhaustion. We went through an early retirement offering, and at MCC, we have 7 faculty and staff retiring, and that's 10% of our full-time employees. So I do think that the pandemic and other challenges that we've been facing might have pushed some faculty to make that decision this year. So there's really going to be a lot of opportunity for new folks to come into MCC and to see where we can take things. And so the last thing that I want to talk to you about is why we think the future is bright at Marshalltown Community College. And I think that it's really bright in 2 different ways. We're really excited about the bond projects that have been identified for our Marshalltown location. And you can see there from the list what a comprehensive facilities improvement is going to be available to us here at the college. We have been working diligently with our architects, putting things, continually over these next couple of months are going to be going out for bid. We've already had our bid opening for our project that's actually at our Grinnell campus location. Things are looking great. We're so appreciative of the support that our community showed to us. And I think that you all, when we get to bring you back to campus, probably being done sometime maybe in January of 2021 or slightly after that, you are going to be thrilled with what you see. It is going to be obvious to you how your very, very valuable resources are supporting the college, both in the kinds of things that are experience-oriented types of things, but also in the types of things related to supporting education and training of our students around for the community. Those are going to result in things like working towards and starting a construction-oriented career academy in the fall of 2021. Very excited about getting high school students back into learning and experiencing, learning coursework and experiencing the field and construction. We're also working on a first responder EMT certificate, and we think that will be a great addition to our credit offerings on campus. As a result of some of the bond projects, we have opportunities for expanding and increasing some of our program offerings. We will be starting an esports program that's likely to start the fall of 2022 when we're fully open. We're also going to be expanding our IT courses and programs because of our complete renovation of our computer lab area. And we'll also be increasing the kinds of offerings related to STEM programs. The science lab that we are designing is going to be fabulously oriented towards those students that might like to go into engineering by taking some physics courses, but also maybe more applied engineering kinds of things. So we're really excited about the future at MCC, despite some of the challenges that we have. So that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has.
Well, Robin, while that slide is up, would you explain what an e-sport is to me?
I would be happy to explain it. So anyone who has children or grandchildren that enjoy video games, there is actually a whole world out there where people, video gamers, and I wouldn't even say it's 18-year-olds anymore. I mean, I think that there's older adults that are competing in some of these games. Right now, there are 7 sanctioned games that that we are exploring, participating in, and joining, creating a team for, in which how those students will compete against others. Generally, it's virtual, and so they're not necessarily always having to travel to other locations, but they virtually compete in a variety of video game competitions. These have proven to be quite appealing to high school students or prospective college students. And so we are excited to pair an esports team with the ability to add to our IT courses and programs. So students that might be interested in things like coding or other areas, our networking program, cybersecurity types of courses. We think that that's going to pair together to have a great co-curricular experience along with getting their education.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Robin, I know Jackie's on this meeting as well. Can you collaborate or connect with Jackie relative to that esports? Because I know that we've had a student reach out about wanting to try to establish a club in that
Okay.
arena. And I know that in some states like Minnesota, they're actually considered sanctioned sports or activities. So I don't know a lot, and I don't know if Jackie does, about how that should look and feel, or, you know, to make sure that, I mean, I think it would be highly popular, but we also would want to make sure that we're targeting the type of activities towards developmentally appropriate games and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, what we're still learning too, Theron, about it all. But what we are learning is that the NJCAA is beginning to sanction these kinds of competitions, and that it definitely is. It's not just any game that anyone wants to play and have a competition. There are specific games that are identified for those competitions. So yeah, it would be great to have a partner in Jackie in terms of us exploring together sort of how this might work for us.
And I will just say from a personal experience, it's pretty humbling when your 5, 7, and 10-year-old grandsons can all take it to you on the virtual basketball court.
That's right.
I look forward to summer where I still have a little bit of a age advantage over them.
Well, thank you very much, and please reach out if you have any specific questions about anything that I've shared or anything related to MCC. So hopefully you all will see that the future is bright for us as well.
We thank you very much, Robin. Let's give her a round of applause. A very interesting program. Thank you very much. Next week, our program will feature Larry Jackson, who's a teacher and a coach with the Des Moines Public School System. And I'm sure that will be an interesting program. So I invite you now to join me in reciting the 4-way test. The 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, Is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? I now declare our meeting adjourned. Have a great week, everybody.